What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to this week's podcast.
Woohoo, we survived another
Yay.
week.
Well, did we? Really?
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, and
You're
I'm
here.
Yeah, thank
So,
God for living way the
we're
heck
good.
away from places. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not getting into that. It's not going to be a thing we're talking about. Positive vibes left and right. That's what we're here to bring. That's right.
Yeah.
So tell everybody, what are we talking about this week, Ro?
We have a very special guest, my good friend Paul, and he is from Canada, Ontario, Canada, to be exact.
Say hi, Paul.
Say hi.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
So
we're going to talk about differences between Canada and the United States restaurants and food and things that we have that they don't and vice versa. And it'll be great fun.
Absolutely. So, we kind of already started this discussion on our off time. We were just goofing around talking for about, the first half hour before we started. And we specifically spoke about McDonald's. So, you have to remind me exactly about that one, was it bacon something or another you guys have up there in Canada?
We have the BLT quarter pounder, and it is the best quarter pounder I've ever had.
And then you continued after that to say what your thought was about McDonald's in the U.S. compared to Canada. So, what is your perception of that?
Well, what I've noticed is it's more about the beef between the two countries. The beef that you guys have on your burgers over there is so amazing, so thick and succulent. It looks like the commercials on TV, where ours here, flat, no grease. No.
Oh, God,
Interesting.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Huh. Is it like a spongier type beef?
Spongy.
No, it's almost like our beef gets pressed and all the fat comes out before they cook it, so it's almost just like a cardboard, really thin, gross pat.
Huh.
Even our quarter pounder patties almost remind me of what Big Mac patties look like.
Oh, yes.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, I got the visual now. Okay, perfect. I've never been to Canada.
Road trip.
Well, you're missing out, don't you know?
I know. Well, they have amazing ketchup chips, which is my favorite thing from Canada. I'm so sad we don't have it here.
We have ketchup chips in every brand. Lay's, Ruffles, Pringles, you name it.
Okay. So, I'm kind of a ketchup chip snob, and I know you and I have talked about this before, because we differ on our likings of brands. I think we agree that Lay's is the best.
Absolutely.
Yes, so Lay's is
Really?
the best. Yes, Lay's makes the best ketchup chip ever. If you've never had a ketchup chip, I would describe it as a cross between salt and vinegar and barbecue. You get when you eat salt and vinegar, you get that I don't know, that spot in the back of your cheek when you eat when you're it kind of puckers up a bit. But then it also has kind of the taste of a barbecue. So it's I've definitely turned a lot of people onto ketchup chips. I've shared a lot with my office that I used to work for when I had a good friend send a variety of ketchup chips to me. Is it Dutchman's? Is it Dutchman's? Is that another brand?
Yeah, that's another brand. The only negative thing I can say about ketchup chips is your fingers are going to be stained red for the rest of the day.
It's like eating Cheeto.
I could agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You guys have Cheetos up there, right?
Oh, yes, we have Cheetos,
Okay.
but
Okay,
not
good.
all the brands that you guys have. We're just starting to get the red, the extra hot ones and
the
the
flaming hot
jalapeno.
ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
For us, for the most part, it was just the normal ones, and we're just starting to venture into new flavors.
Because I think, so not to segue off of Cheetos, but you like the Pringles ketchup chips, right?
I do like the Pringles. A lot of people don't like them, but I do like them.
Yeah, I've tried those ones, and I'm not a fan. Yeah.
I think
Lay's
you
where
have
it's at.
You could. Who would have thought you could fill half an hour of podcast about ketchup chips?
Oh.
Hey, we can talk about anything for a half an hour.
I feel like Pringles, though, that's one of those things kind of like combos, and I love combos, and I love Pringles. When I think it was this week, I had that conversation around Pringles, and the friend I was talking to was like, oh, no, I don't like Pringles. I don't like them. So I think you really have to like Pringles to appreciate the Pringle ketchup chip.
I would agree with that. I think it's the thickness of the cut of the chip that I don't like.
Okay, so there's my question. You know there's an age-old saying about the Lay's chips being like a bag of air, right? So you eat a chip and it basically like melts in your mouth because it's so thin, right?
Yes.
Is that the same case with the ketchup chips?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah,
But I don't find
it's Lay's. It's Lay's
it's
brand,
that
so
bad.
it's the same. Yeah.
Do you want to know an interesting fact? It's not actually filled with air. The bags are filled with nitrogen.
Oh.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Is it for longevity and kind of like a preservative?
Absolutely. If you leave chips out in, say, a bowl overnight and then you try to eat them the next day, what do they
gross.
taste like? They're mushy, gross, whatever. So if you thought those chips were sitting in air for like months on end before you bought them, they would be absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It makes perfect sense to me. Yeah. I just didn't know that. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Huh.
The things you find out.
This many years old when you found that out.
That's right.
Let's see. What else? Oh, poutine. You guys have some poutine up there.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, every kind of poutine. We have a poutine restaurant not far from where I live, and you can get every type of poutine that you could ever.
So
Okay.
explain what poutine is for our listeners who don't know what that is and just find it a weird name to say.
So it's French fries. This is the base poutine. It's French fries, then cheese curds, and then gravy poured all over the top of it to melt all the cheese curds over the fry.
I literally
And
just
not,
started
like-
drooling inside my mouth.
It sounds.
and it's
so
not
is it like a
white
brown?
gravy. It's a specific kind of gravy that
Okay.
goes with it.
I was gonna ask.
And
is it like
here
a brown
we can
gravy or
buy.
what?
Yeah, it's kind of like a brown gravy. It's
Okay.
it's more of a reddish type. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it is so good. And then now we've derived other types of poutine from this. So we'll put pulled pork on it, and we'll do. My favorite is pierogi poutine. So it
there's
comes
a
with
tongue
sour
twister.
cream and onions and all the other stuff that normally would go with pierogies, bacon, all that stuff on the French fries. It is so good.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, you realize that we're going to need a care box to do like an unboxing of food from there. You're just going to have to ship it down.
You know what? I can actually buy poutine gravy and send it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I was at the store the other day and I found poutine gravy and I'm like, yes!
Now, is that Pootien? Like poutine? Like protein?
Poutine, I think, something
Oh, it's a
around
fancy
that.
spelling. Okay. I
I
was
think
just
it's
curious.
French.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
I'm
French?
not a great speller. Yeah, it's French, and I'm not a great speller to start with, so you might have to look it up.
Yeah, and that's actually what I'm doing. That's why I was curious.
Yeah. We'll post a picture for our listeners.
Ooh, oh my good God, that looks... oh my God. You're not kidding. Holy cow. Look at those cheese curds.
Yeah, I just opened a whole new world for you.
I mean, you had me at cheese curd, just to be quite honest.
Yeah, right? Oh, cheese curds, so great.
For me, I personally would rather go the shredded cheese, but cheese curd is the proper way of doing it.
Oh my God.
I mean, cheese anything is amazing. I don't care what shape it comes in.
See, I just find that the gravy's never hot enough to melt the cheese curds
that's
very
true.
well. So
Yeah,
I
I
find
can
the
see that.
shredded cheese gives it so much more meltage to it. It's McDonald's actually ran poutine over here,
Huh.
McDonald's?
and it was terrible.
Yeah,
It's just so bad.
fast food poutine.
Man, I feel
Bless their
like
hearts, so they tried.
if there was a place, there's two restaurants that immediately came into my head when I thought about someone that could probably pull it off over here. Culver's. Do you have Culver's where you guys are?
I do not.
I think it's
Never
like
heard of it.
it's more like a Kentucky Southern type thing. Culver's really good for their butter burgers, and they have cheese curds and milkshakes. It's kind of like old American style, good home food. You know, like real greasy food and whatnot. And then BW3s, Buffalo Wild Wings. I feel like they could really do well. And I know you have those over there, don't you, Ro?
Yeah, we do.
And up north,
do.
yeah?
We have Buffalo Wild Wings. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like they could really pull a poutine off.
I could see that.
Buffalo Wild Wings isn't a popular restaurant up here. Not like it is down south.
Oh
Really?
yeah, it's the shiznit here. All the cool kids go there. I find it more popular with the high schooler / 20 scene.
See, I went once, and I had their wings, and I had other food, and it was okay, but if I'm looking for wings, we have a lot of local places that are 10 times better than Buffalo Wild.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Support your local small businesses.
Yay!
Yay!
One of the things that I wish we had that we don't have here that you have in the States is Olive Garden.
Ooh, yes.
Olive Garden.
Like, when we go to the States, that's the restaurant we go to, because we can't get that here.
Their breadsticks are delicious.
Okay,
Everything is delicious.
I'm gonna pause on that. So, with my job, I travel around a lot. I'm in my car, and then I usually stop place to get lunch. And one of my favorite places to go, work on a computer, plug it in the wall, is Olive Garden. It literally, it's between that and Cracker Barrel, but Cracker Barrel is a little bit too noisy, where Olive Garden can kind of get away with that at lunch. There are times, and it really depends on which location you go to, that I have to explain to them, I love your breadsticks, but if you need to make sure that you put some extra goodies on it, or I'm just eating bread. Because some of the people that have been to some of the ones around where I live, they don't put the extra stuff on it to make it really taste good, and I'm just eating like a piece of bread for the most part. So it really ought to depend.
What do you mean,
that's my
like,
experience.
What do you mean extra good?
Like
stuff?
the garlic, the butter, the stuff that goes on top of the breadstick. Because I've had some of the breadsticks from there, and I'm not knocking them. It's whoever the heck made that specific batch. They just sprinkled a little bit of stuff on it. I was just a bunch of carbs. That's all it was. Yeah.
So they're making bread like they own the place, and they didn't want to spend the extra money on the garlic.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I could see that. I've gotten that, and I've gotten a couple where like the ends are kind of hard too. Like they've kind of sat out for a while.
Yeah. Oh, I'll straight up tell them, hey, I need you to take this back, do a fresh batch for me, and put extra stuff on it.
I'll have to remember that next time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll just eat what they brought and then ask them for more after.
So
when you look like me and you eat like me, you don't get picky. You just eat it and then ask for more.
So what other restaurants do we have down here that you don't have that you like?
All of them. We don't have a Sizzlers. We don't have Cracker Barrel. We don't have Cheesecake Factory. We don't have none of that shit up.
So what are some of the big names up there that we would be less familiar with down in the States?
Oh, now you got me thinking shit.
Oh, yeah.
See, our equivalent to what Olive Garden would be, like, around here would be called Eastside Mario's, which is one of my favorite restaurants.
It's Italian, I take it?
Yeah, it's Italian. It's got a lot of Canadian and regular food, but they specialize in the Italian stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
But for the most part, anything that's here, you guys have it too. Because they just don't want to cross over to our country because they have to put shit in French and all that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work.
True.
Can you speak French?
Je ne sais quoi? No, not really.
No.
Keep
going.
I know very, very little because that's what is taught as our second language in school. But for the most part, unless you actually focused on it, most Canadians in Ontario can't speak French. I can't say most, but a lot.
Interesting. So,
aren't there provinces that just speak French? I mean, they're French or dominant, I should say.
So Quebec is the French province in our country, and their main language is French. When you go there, all their stuff is in French.
No, that's
And
It's
side
not the
note,
real
East, right?
French.
That's where Celine Dion is from. Side note.
Yes, she
People
is
need to
from
reference.
Quebec. And from where I am, it is northeast.
northeast of you. Okay.
Yeah, I live in the southernmost part of Canada. I actually have to go north to go to the United States.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, B.
You know, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Oh my god.
Talking to the Canadian, and of course he had to throw it the A. Yes, I actually have to drive north to go across the border to go to the United States.
Gotcha. So here there are some places. I mean, Canada's huge. It's bigger than the United States, right? A lot of it's not inhabited because it's cold as nothing else. It's like basically in Alaska, right?
Yes.
There are places on the west side, for example, what a Jack in the Box, In-N-Out Burger, Whataburger. You know, there's different places out there that we won't have over here, at least in the Midwest where I am in Ohio. Do you have any of those up there where you live, Ro?
We just got our very first Five Guys burger.
Oh, you
guys
just got
have
Five
that?
Guys. There you go.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
five. Yeah, we have Five Guys here. Yeah.
That's our very, like, Jack in the Box. We don't have any of that. Nothing like that up here. But Five Guys has made it. Popeyes and Five Guys are the one that broke the borders.
We have In-N-Out. In-N-Out just came a year or two ago, I think.
So jealous.
And we have Sonic too. That was a big one that
Sonic.
came.
Yes.
Yeah,
Give me
that
a
one
Sonic
came.
fuck hot dog. Come on. Oh, yeah.
I love their slushes. So
Yeah.
good. So good.
Was it a
That's
grape
another
nerd
one that
slushie?
we visit.
What?
A grape nerd slushie from Sonic. You ever had one of those?
Oh, that's diabetes right there.
Oh.
No, but that's going to be on my list next time I cross the border.
No, I usually go with either the strawberry lemonade one. I forget what my mom always gets, and then I like cherry lime. I usually get cherry lime.
See, for slushies, it's always the blue one, the blue raspberry or whatever of that type.
Now,
You just
when
like
you're
your tongue being blue.
yeah. Now, when you're up there, you have to
favors to
say
a
with the
Smurf.
accent.
Well, see,
Accent.
I
Bleh,
don't
bleh.
know that I have an
Bleh.
accent, but when I cross the border, people are like, "Where are you from? You're not from here." And I'm like, "What do you mean? I talk just like you." They're like, "No, you don't."
Mm? You have a little bit of an accent.
Which is weird because I don't hear an accent, but apparently, even just crossing the border, 15 minutes from my house, I have an accent compared to what they do. And we can always tell an American when they cross the border. Because they definitely have accents, and
Yeah.
if they smoke, I can smell their cigarette smoke from a mile away. Which is weird, because you would think cigarettes shouldn't be smelling that much different, but they
Right.
do.
So there's different cigarettes?
Oh yeah, we don't have any cigarettes like you have. We don't have Marlboro, we don't have any of that stuff.
Oh.
No way.
Seriously,
Interesting.
you can't buy a pack of Marlboro cigarettes at a corner store around here.
See, that's all you see when you go into any convenience store behind
Yeah,
the cashier.
yeah.
Just boom,
I-
littered Marlboro. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I always
Camel's
bring 2
popular,
packs
too.
with me.
Oh,
I bring 2 packs of smokes with me because I don't want to buy any of that stuff.
Oh, and we talked about beer too. There's a difference in beer.
oh yes.
Yeah, well, you're picking up a lot of the beer that we have here now, but it's still different from the beer that they sell at the store.
Different how?
Percentage-wise for the alcohol.
Oh.
Let me.
Like
see
I know,
here.
like Coolers Light runs at 4 for you guys, doesn't it?
I'm not a beer drinker, I don't know.
I'm honestly. So I don't know if it's on here. They should be on here. I am actually currently drinking a Miller Lite in a bottle, and it's not saying anything on it. I'm sure you could. You know what? God bless Google.
Yeah,
See, I know the beer I'm drinking right now. It's called Alexander Keith's Indian Pale Ale, and it is 5.5%.
Oh wow, yeah. Miller Lite is 4.17.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
But
your
I've even
alcohol,
noticed-
your beer has more alcohol in it. Okay.
Well, I've even noticed from when crossing the border, we'll stay in the States and stuff like that. I'll buy blue over there, and it'll be a lower percentage than what I buy blue in Canada for. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt. I just a list of 50 beers in the United States and all their specs. Like, for example, the college beer over in the United States is Natty Ice. It is natural ice. It is super cheap, but it's like almost 6%.
And I don't think we have that here. I've never seen that at the store.
Oh, it's bad.
We have stuff called black ice, and that stuff is like drinking Varsol. It's gross.
Yeah, and I'm honestly looking at this list. Okay, well, IPA. That one's at 6.2. Yeah, but it's funny. So, like, natural ice literally is one of the... Okay, so there's natural light and then natural ice. Natural light is the basic go-to for the college students. You shouldn't drink if you're not 21, just saying. And then Natty Ice is kind of like the upgrade to Natty Light. It comes in a blue bottle and whatnot. It's actually pretty nice, but it's strong stuff.
See, I remember I had a friend that went to college in the States for baseball, and I went down there one year to pick him up at the end of some year or whatever, and they had a big party. And we brought down 2 cases of beer with us, and those were the first 2 cases of beer that disappeared. And then we got into drinking Bud Light and Miller Light and all the rest of this.
I remember at Ohio State, it's here now. It's all over the place. Do you have Yingling up there?
Not that I've heard of. I'm not a big fan of goofy, funky beer. I drink the most normal beer that you could possibly find.
Oh, what they're talking about, what your perception of normal is, but
Coolers Light, blue.
Oh, that stuff. That's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't drink anything that has flavors in it or fruit in it or anything like that.
So Yingling came from a small Pennsylvania brewery, and you could only used to get it in the state of Pennsylvania. It's a lot better than Miller Lite, but like it's not on that level. It's a you'd like it. Let me just say you would like it. It's not a normal beer or whatnot. But I remember in college before they launched it in the state of Ohio, we used to drive to Pittsburgh, which I think, gosh, that was like a good 4-hour drive for us, and then we'd stock up on just cases of Yingling and bring it back. But that's one that stood out for me. And most people don't think about that because Yingling, you can get it wherever you want to now, I believe. At least in Ohio and Cincinnati. But back in the day, you couldn't get it. You had to drive to Pennsylvania to get it.
See, that tells me that it's a good beer because I haven't driven 4 hours to get anything before.
Yeah. It's
like
dedication.
for me, that would be driving to Toronto. That's not in the option for a beer.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, now if there was an Olive Garden in Toronto, I might think about that.
Just saying, Olive Garden, if you want to sponsor the Knab and Rose Show, feel free.
Yeah, right?
Just let us know.
The one thing that we do have here that it's only in a couple cities, it's not huge, is the Outback Steakhouse, which I know you guys have like all over the place.
We do. It's not my favorite steak place. We have another one that's... I think there's just one of them. It's not across
Texas
the United States or
Roadhouse?
anything. No, it's called Sailor's Country Kitchen, and they are great. I think they're in Gresham, just outside of Portland, but they are amazing. They have amazing steaks, and they're way better than Outback.
Our steaks here are done, like the big steak restaurant is called The Keg. And it is a fancier place. It's more expensive, but man, do they have good steaks.
I feel like we used to have one, or do have one in Portland, actually. A restaurant by that name.
What, the
that does
Kegs?
steaks. Yeah.
Yeah, The Keg.
Yeah.
And not in here.
I feel like we do.
You're not in the Midwest, at least from my knowledge. But I did want to say,
Well,
I have a good buddy that lives up in Wausau, Wisconsin. He is a manager at a Texas Roadhouse, and she mentioned that. Little shout out. What up, man? How you doing, Adam?
I have family down in the States, and that's the one that they talk about a lot is the Texas Roadhouse.
Now, what particularly about that? I could tell you exactly what goes in my mind first.
I don't remember offhand, but I just remember that that's their go-to place, that if they want a really good meal, that's where they're headed.
Oh, yeah. So, kind of like how Olive Garden does the breadsticks and the salad, kind of, the free part with your meal. Texas Roadhouse is known for their real soft rolls with cinnamon butter spread.
Ugh.
Oh, no, yeah, you have to try it. It is, you can get regular butter too, but it is delicious. I think it's fantastic.
You had me till you said cinnamon, and then it was just like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not a cinnamon fan either. I mean, I would try it, but
Well, it's not like you're taking a bunch of powdered cinnamon, shoving it in your mouth, and gagging because it's the powder. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it's good.
See, I'm a salty, savory kind of person. The sweet thing does not do it for me.
I agree with
hence
that.
why you put ketchup on everything.
Yes, I don't. I'm a Canadian that doesn't like maple syrup. It's just,
Oh my gosh.
it's
That's like
goofy. I know.
Blasphemy.
I
right
know.
there.
Like they're voting me out of the country.
Oh.
Fellow Canadians are going to hear this and be like, "Excuse me?
What?
What? I'm sorry, but you have to go."
You are not Canadian if you don't like maple syrup.
They'll tell me sorry when they kick me out, but they're still going to kick me out.
Oh, that's great.
So, one thing I have a question about, because I know each country has something they're more or less known for. Excuse me. For example, Australia is known for Vegemite. Blech. I've tried it. It's not something I like, but it is a traditional thing that it's like putting butter on toast over in Australia. Do you guys have anything like that in Canada that's kind of like your thing that you guys typically do up there?
I would say poutine, right?
Poutine is a big one, and maple syrup is our other big one. Like, we do maple syrup everything. We have maple syrup suckers, we have maple syrup, you name it, that comes with maple syrup. But our other big thing, and I'm going to piss off some Americans now, is hockey. Hockey. Hockey's our thing, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was
That is
wondering
true.
if you were going to bring that out.
Well, you kind of set me up for it, so it was like, what does Canadians do?
Forgot about hockey. Cricket hockey is a sport.
Do you know what our national sport is?
Ice skating?
No. It is actually lacrosse.
Really?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wouldn't have... My brothers
neither
played
would
lacrosse.
I live here, and it doesn't make sense.
My brothers played lacrosse, and I actually really enjoy that game. It's like second to football to watch, because it's a very fast-paced game, and there's like 3 different types of sports kind of going on in it, and I like it. It's great.
My theory on it is lacrosse is like hockey, but without skates. So it's for the rest of us that can't skate.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a combination between hockey, rugby, and football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Fun to watch. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's lots of different weird Canadian stuff that we have that a lot of people don't understand. Like the little hippo that lives in your house. If you
What?
don't know what that is, you gotta look it up.
The hippo? A hippo?
The house hippo. Look up the house hippo. If you get a chance,
The
Google house hippo.
Hippo. We're we're on it.
Yeah.
What the heck?
This
Okay.
was a commercial that ran in Canada for years back in the day. And if you're Canadian around my age, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the house hippo.
Okay. The house hippo is the subject of a Canadian television public service announcement produced by Concerned Children's Advertisers in May of 1999 and reintroduced by Media Smarts in 2019. The original 60-second clip was directed by Tim Hamilton of Avion Films. Interesting. It is this cute, adorable, flippin' hippo that just like playing with.
Do you know how long I looked for a house hippo in my house when that commercial first came out? It was ridiculous. This little hippo walking around the house at night. I thought these things were real.
You know, Ro, I think I might need to grab one of these clips of a house hippo and put it up.
Yeah, do it.
It's like
Enlighten our
53
listeners.
seconds, yeah, or 32 seconds. Yeah, I'll find something fun for you guys and put
We can post it on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll post that on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
A
hilarious.
house hippo. That's amazing.
You see, I was looking at one growling at a cat and like, that's amazing. Oh god, I love it.
Hippo. Well, okay, what else do you guys have?
So the one representation on TV that I love of Canadian people is from How I Met Your Mother. For Robin, it is fantastic.
Huh.
The way they do her "I'm going to the mall" song and all that, it really does represent Canada so well.
Oh.
Huh. I'll be honest.
I never saw that show.
Yeah, I mean,
You've never what?
I mean, I've seen a few episodes, but I never watched it like religiously.
Oh my goodness!
Oh no.
I've
maybe
seen
not.
it. Yeah.
I quit podcasts. We can't be friends.
No.
On next week's edition, the guy that quit because pups didn't know it. Oh man. Well, I will tell you guys, we're about 30 minutes into this. So let's talk about one more topic, specifically if you're to think of not just food, absolutely the one thing that would differentiate and be like, yeah, this is Canada, what would it be?
Our money. Have you seen our money?
Oh,
It's pretty.
interesting.
Oh my goodness, it's like Monopoly money to a T. It's red, it's brown, it's green, it's blue. We have every color. and it's indestructible. Like you could drop it in water and pull it back out and be like, it's good. It's made of plastic.
Oh my God. It's got the Queen's picture on it, right?
There's actually different pictures for every single bill.
Oh, okay.
So there's somebody on a $5 bill, somebody on 10, all that kind of stuff. I can't name any of them, but
Are they like queens and kings, or
no, they're different people
what do you
in the
have?
Canadian
Prime
society.
Ministers? Prime
Yes, we
ministers?
have
Is that what
prime
you're
minister.
talking about? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Members of Parliament and prime ministers are
Okay.
cabinet people, but
Mhm.
or not cabinet people, but government people.
Right.
But the thing with the money that I notice the most is when I go to the States, I really struggle with your money because it all looks so much the same. Because I'll pull out a $5 bill when I'm looking for a $1 bill, or I'll pull out a $50 bill when I'm looking for a $10 bill. Because it's all the same size, all the same color.
Yeah.
And your $1 bills, I hate them. You know what? We have coins for our $1, and the $1. Every time I try to put one of your $1 in a vending machine and it spits it back at me, I want to throw it across the room.
We used to have $2 bills.
We actually had $1 bills and $2 bills also, but we've scrapped $1 bills and $2 bills and went to coins instead.
I mean, okay, I don't like that at all. Okay, I cannot stand having clinky coins everywhere.
Yeah.
It irritates the crap out of me. I personally, I don't carry really cash at all unless I'm going through like down to North Carolina to visit my folks and we have to go through toll roads. Then we'll carry cash. Typically, it'll just be debit or credit card or whatnot. But yeah, I just can't. I can't. Money's gross. But then again, I worked in banking for 10 years. I basically touched money for 10 years. It was gross.
Yeah,
Money
I don't
is
like
very gross.
I don't like to jingle. So I don't like.
See,
to
we don't carry it around with us anyways. We just throw it in a bin and then we bring it to the bank later. Well, we all call carry debit too. Come on, I know we're a little bit different, but we have debit here.
Yeah, I do.
Hey?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
don't hold it.
Oh, too good. Too good.
I love it. Well, awesome. Well, hey, man, we want to thank you so much for coming and joining the podcast this week and give us a quick a drop and look into Canadian lifestyle and different foods and stuff that you guys have up there. And I'll tell you what, the poutine, is it called poutine?
Poutine.
I am going to figure out how, if not to get it, to make it. And I want to make myself some darn poutine because I'm just, oh my God, so hungry now.
You gotta let me know how it turns out.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Hopefully I can get a good recipe and put something together.
I can tell you how to make a gravy, a brown gravy, but that's about all I can do for you. Yeah. It's really easy. Cream of mushroom soup with soy sauce. Turns it into brown gravy. It is what we'll use on a lot of stuff over here.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Sounds simple. Cream of mushroom and soy sauce.
We can do that. Okay,
yeah,
so
that sounds simple enough.
I like that. I'm glad you actually brought up like a quote-unquote recipe if you're up there, because I remember when Rona, we did the actual food podcast talking about food in general, she mentioned to me the grilled cheese, instead of using butter on the side of the bread, using mayonnaise, and I actually tried it, and there's the shocker. It was good.
Right?
Really?
It was delicious. Yeah, it was a really good suggestion. So I will be making this gravy here, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a shot. That's how we do that all the time when we're looking to make gravy for our French fries and stuff like that, because we eat gravy on everything. So makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
perfect.
Thank you. This was awesome. It was a great podcast. Glad you came on and discussed all this. And if you all like this, don't forget to jack that like button right in the nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about the Knab and Rose Show. And as always, my friends, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next time, kids.